The Velma show has definitely been an interesting watch so far. In some respects, it's been intriguing to see what the show has been willing to put out on a weekly basis. From plots that have led to nowhere, character reinventions, and humour that hasn't quite landed, one thing that many people could argue this show has done is change some of the characters for the worse. And when I say change, I mean in terms of the values that the characters hold, the drastic difference in the way that they're portrayed, and the lack of substance and depth that they seem to have. So with that, I thought I'd discuss one character that this show has taken and changed completely, and that's Fred. So let's get into it. Here is how the Velma show ruined Fred. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Fred is a much-loved character from the Scooby-Doo universe, and one could argue that he's the level-headed, leader-type figure in the Mystery Inc. gang. Within the original show, he almost acts as the protector of the group that will often be leading the way behind the wheel of the mystery machine. He's the opposite in every way possible when it comes to Shaggy. Shaggy is usually a little bit more of a coward and doesn't come across as big, strong, and the protector, so the difference is clear between them. Fred is known to be a relatively intelligent individual, not to the level of Velma, but he definitely has his head screwed on. He's also known to be the inventor of the traps that are often created and set up in order to catch whomever it is that they're after. However, what the show Velma has done is it's changed the blueprint of Fred completely. Even if this is in a time that's being referred to as a prequel, the way that this character has been portrayed in the Velma show doesn't resemble anything like what his future self would be like. Fred in this show has essentially been painted out to be a two-dimensional idiot. He's been shown to us in a way that's highlighted how he can't do anything for himself, even cut his own food. It's leaned heavily in on the stereotype of a rich boy that relies on his mother and father, but it's taken it to a whole new level where he genuinely can't do anything. They've made the extent of his conversation and attention span to be something that's almost non-existent. They started off the season with him being the popular guy at school and highlighted how he could be with any person that he wanted to be. Whereas now they've transformed him into this person that after reading one book on feminism is now besotted with Velma because he loves what's on the inside of her, which to me feels a little contradictory because on the inside of Velma we've seen that she's a selfish individual that cares for nobody but herself and will hurt anybody that shows an ounce of care. You could argue that Velma isn't even a feminist either due to the way that she's been treating some of the other girls in the school too. Fred is quite literally the butt of every joke and is the dumb character that tends to ruin the situation that the group tends to find themselves in. Like in episode 8 where his shouting was causing the cave to crumble, and he carried on continuing to do it as if he was oblivious that it was himself that was causing it. This show could have handled many things differently, and one thing that I think they definitely could have handled differently was Fred, as he doesn't resemble the character that many of us came to enjoy watching on screen in our childhoods at all. Norville doesn't resemble Shaggy in the way that he acts, but he does have certain positives about him and actually brings something different to the show. Fred, I feel, doesn't at all. It could have been a completely different character with the extent of the changes, and to be honest, it would have probably been a little bit better, because the comparison wouldn't have been there all of the time. It's a shame that they did this to the character, but with the season finale looking like he could be somewhat involved in the case being solved and potentially even being the culprit, they could still sink this character lower into the ground. We'll just have to wait and see, but hopefully they'll be able to improve upon the character in the new season when it does get released. So, there you have it, how the Velma show ruined Fred. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button, or alternatively you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What did you think of this show? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.